hot minute. Been a hot minute. Yeah. My friends, sorry. Come on. Let's see. There we go. There's too many tabs open. Can't handle it. Got too many tabs open. Hi. No, it's been so long, I kind of forgot how this works. Not gonna lie, no, I'm just kidding. Just a little complicated. Okay. Hi guys, how are you? So I know I've been gone for a really long time. Welcome to Online Steps to Success. Oh, let's try to get you up here. Let me see. Oopsies. My phone. Oh, okay. I don't want to hear myself. Okay. No. There you are. Now I can see you. Okay. How are you guys? It's Saturday. What is happening? I have so much to tell you. So much to tell you. Good morning. So, welcome to Online Steps to Success. Let's see if I can pull my life together and actually talk to you. Well, if you're new here, my name is Allison Dalkey. I am so glad that you're joining us today. Hi, friends. I miss you too. Some of you are not. Some of you have been around for a very long time. We haven't been live in 2 months. We used to be live every single week, and we're about to be live every single week again with some changes, which I'll tell you more about in a minute, why and all of that. Your door closing with the dog did not work, babe. She was trying to steal my show. So this is our first live broadcast in 2 months, which is crazy town. And I'm really excited to be back. And I promise I'll give you all the details about why we're gone for so long really soon. But before that, if you're watching live, I'd love to know where you're from. As I just said, Peggy, see, she already told me she's from Albuquerque. She's watching on YouTube. Hi, Peggy. How are you? Well, I'm glad to be back. Thanks for coming to hang out. While you're telling me where you're from, I'm going to tell you what the heck we're doing here. So this is Online Steps to Success, where we show up live every week to help you dream bigger, work smarter, grow healthier, and change the world. Because I believe that you have the power to do that. And the thing is, we change the world by changing ourselves first. So we're going to get started. Hi, Amy. So, hold on, what's happening? How's it passing notes? This is. I don't need to see this. I don't need to see that. Kat's watching from Nebraska. Hi from Nebraska. Megan from Alberta, Canada. Leanne says, she wants to know if we're going to Bermuda in June. So we are not going to Bermuda in June. We are taking our kids. Well, we don't actually know what we're doing yet, but we marked out all of June to take a family vacation. So we're either going to Europe or we're going on an East Coast road trip. 2 very different trips. We just haven't decided yet. So that's what we're doing in June. Kendra's watching from Moreno Valley, California. Hi. Okay. So I want to dive in. I have so much to tell you. I'm so glad y'all are here. It's nice to see you too. Yes, we are going to be in Dallas on March 7th. So for those of you who are going to be there, I'm excited to see you. So if you're new, I should probably introduce myself. My name is Allison Dalkey, and I have spent the past 12 years in direct sales, growing and developing myself and other leaders. And now my heart is simply to share with you what I know, which is not a ton, but I know a little bit, and I'm happy to share it with you. And you take what works for you and use it to grow your business and your life balance, your work-life balance, because I think that is so important. One of the things I'm seeing right now that I really hate is just so many women in this industry burning out. And I don't think it's necessary. And we're going to talk a lot about that in the coming weeks and how we can really make sure that we're taking care of ourselves and our families and our business. We can do all of those things at the same time. And so I'm really excited to share some practical tips with you. Okay, so here's the deal. I really believe in hard work, but I also believe in putting first things first. And I 100% believe that your dreams are worth chasing. That's why you got into this business, right? You wanted something to change, right? Maybe you thought that you could pay off debt or buy a house or do that thing, accomplish that goal. So we're going to talk a lot about dream chasing in the next few weeks. But like I said just a second ago, we're also going to talk a lot about boundaries and balance and what that looks like and how we combine all of those things together for this to be something that is an asset to your family, to your life, but also to who you are and who you're becoming. So I want to back up real quick and give you a quick update on where Brian and I have been these past couple of months and tell you where we as a group are going over the next 12 weeks. Today is kind of a catch up. It's going to be relatively short. We've got to catch up and I need to prep you for what's coming. And you might not like what I have to say today. I've been known to not have the most popular, I don't know, not the most popular, but sometimes I hear maybe you don't want to hear, but that are truth. And I promise that's one thing I'll always tell you is the truth because you deserve that. So this is not fluff. This is not extra. This is the truth that you need to hear. Okay. I definitely have some words for you today. Definitely. So we were live back in December. I don't actually know what date. It was mid-December. That was our last live broadcast in 2019. And the plan was for me to take a month off. That's what I do every single year. I take that off from my entire business, not just from this, but from my entire business. The middle of December to the middle of January. That's one of the things that has really helped me rest well. And it's also helped me love this business. It takes a lot of work to take a month off because there's a lot of prep work, but it's always worth it. And it always gives me the rejuvenated spirit and excitement about my business. So we did that. We went live for our last broadcast and we plan on being back mid-January. Well, that's definitely not mid-January, is it? So during all that time, like in late end of the year, I was writing a book and it's something I'd wanted to do for years. And we're talking about that today because we're going to talk about actually doing things. It took me a long time to actually do the thing that I wanted to do. And I want to talk about why that was and why I think some of you are taking a long time to do the thing you actually want to do. So we're going to get there. But I've been writing a book and the goal was to finish by my 36th birthday, which was on December 21st. And I did it. And to the help of my husband, who's amazing, who eventually just checked me into a hotel and said, you have to finish, which it takes things like that sometimes to get done, right? And so I finished, but literally from the time I got done, it was like there was so much emotional output and it was such a hard and scary thing for me to do to get all these words out that I just shut down. I just flat out shut down. I mean, you could say I burned myself out, which I know some of you do in your business all the time. So I burned myself out, and which was okay because we were on break time, right? It was time. It was like time to not be working. So we went right into the holidays. We hosted all of Brian's family for Christmas, the Saturday after Christmas, which really kind of like prolonged our Christmas. The mean that Brian and I went to Mexico at the beginning of the year, which we do almost every single year. It's our time to go dream and plan and prepare and pray over the year that's coming. Well, I was sort of a hot mess. And my poor husband, bless him, I was just, I'll say it like this, I was in the woods. I was in a place where I didn't want to think about anything. Good morning, my princess. Did you just wake up? Yeah, I was a sleepy girl. I was in a place where I didn't want to talk about goals. I didn't want to talk about the future. I didn't want to talk about my business. I didn't want to talk about what we were doing. I didn't want to talk about any of it. And I guess that some of you have been there before. It's like you kind of shut down and then you don't know how to come back. It's not a good place to be. I was definitely there. And he kept saying like, hey, babe, are we going to like talk about what we're doing this year? Are we going to like make some plans? Are we going to talk about our business? All these things. And I was like, I can't. I just can't. I need to lay on this beach and do nothing. And it's not very like me at all. So it was challenging, frustrated. I was annoyed, all of the things. So January turned out to be pretty hard for us because I did not want to come out of the woods. We got home and I felt overwhelmed by everything in my life. And at that time, I wasn't working my business because I was off. I had taken the time, prepped everything to take off, right? So I wasn't working my business. I wasn't working on writing the book. The book was done. I wasn't doing anything extra. I was being mom and wife, and I felt incredibly overwhelmed. And here's what I want you to know. There are things that all of us are called to do. There are dreams we're meant to chase. And I truly believe that the longer we sit in that saying, dreaming, planning, writing it down, I'm going to do this, I'm going to walk the stage, I'm going to promote, I'm going to build a team, I'm going to make so much money, I'm going to pay off my debt, whatever. As the longer we sit in that place of saying the thing, but not actually doing them, the worse off we make things for ourselves. Here's the thing. Work, we were made for it. We were made to work. It's a beautiful thing. Work within boundaries. We were created to chase the dreams of our heart for bigger things than most of us are living in right now. But the problem is we're scared. And I will tell you, in January, I was scared. I was even looking at this, like Online Steps. We've done it for years and shown up live every week. And I was just in this place thinking like, I can't anymore. I can't. I don't know how to show up every single week and have something beneficial worth saying. I don't know how, like I was over analyzing everything. And I was truly believing that all of it relied on me. That if I was going to run a good business, that if we were going to step into some of the things we've been chasing, if I was going to write a book proposal, all the things that were coming up next, that I had to carry all of it by myself. And the reality is that is fear speaking. That is fear telling us not to rise. That is fear telling us to shrink back. It's really forgetting who we are. And I think sometimes, I don't know how to describe to you how I felt in January, other than I felt uneasy and unsettled and annoyed and frustrated and overwhelmed, all of these things. But it was because I wasn't acting. I was sitting in fear and I was not acting. Here's the thing about what we're going to do here over, I don't know, however long we keep doing this. You're not going to sit in fear anymore. I'm not interested in you showing up just to listen. Honestly, you showing up here and not moving afterwards, it's kind of a waste of your time. And it's kind of a waste of my time. So I'm not going to show up for you to support your hobby or for a good fun time. I'm going to show up to help you grow and change and move, because that's what this whole life is about. Your business is a piece of it. Your business is important, but who you are and how you grow into your business is vital. And I have watched too many of you sit and shrink and be small for far too long. I'm just not going to do it anymore. So I'm not going to say you're not welcome, but I'm sort of going to say you're not welcome if you're not willing. What do I mean by that? You have to be willing to step into the work, to step into the action. Stop saying you're going to do something. Change your mind about who you are and what you're capable of. I got out of this funk. I really need to cough. Hold on one second. want to like cough right in your ear, but I just really needed to. Okay. I will tell you how I got out of this funk. And for me, it was just worship. I needed to stand in church and surrender to the fact that it's not ever always been me. Never. It's never always been me. And it's incredibly self-centered for me to think it had always been me. It's arrogant. It's wrong. It's never been me. There's always been, and listen, I can't, you guys are just going to hear what I believe. I can't not say it. It's part of who I am. But, well, my mom's calling me. Sorry, Mom, I'm busy. The Lord just had to get a hold of me and say, look, I mean, it's cute that you think that you have to carry all this by yourself, but you don't, and you never have. And I have called you to more things, to greater things. I have called you to do good work. I need you to get up and do good work. I need you to stop shrinking. I need you to stop being small. I need you to negotiate your space and step in to who you are called to be. The thing that happened to me that was really kind of a catalyst to push me out of the woods, as I call it, was being in worship and just me hearing the Lord whisper, like, do not forget who you are. Do not forget who you are. And I need to tell you the same thing today. Don't forget who you are. There is so much power and strength and ability inside of you. And the dreams that are deep in your heart, they matter. They matter. And guys, I know it's hard. So what? It's going to be hard. It's not going to stop being hard. It's going to continue to be hard. And actually, the more you rise, the closer you get to where you're going, the bigger the dreams that you're chasing, the harder it's going to be. It's not an easy road. You in this business and all of the things that you want to do are going to continue to be hard. Step into it. Get up. Come on. This is me telling you it's time for us to rise. And it's me speaking to myself as much as it is to you. And I promise you that that is one thing that I will always show up to do, is I'm going to show up and tell you the things that I need to know just as much as the things that you need to know, because we all need to hear the same things. We all need to be reminded of who we are and what we're capable of. Okay, I had notes and I went off script and I have no idea where I am. And so we'll see if I can pull it back together. Okay. Let me just see if I missed anything really good that I wrote down. Let's see. Oh, someone asked me about my book. Is this a book about direct sales? I'm like, no, not at all. Didn't even occur to me to write a book about direct sales. It's a book about being broken and surrendering and stepping in freedom. That's what it's about. I don't know. One day it'll be on paper somewhere and someone will be able to read it. All right. Yeah, I just went totally off script. How y'all doing? Are you okay? This is not what you thought you were showing up for. Here's the thing. I want to talk a little bit about being in that place. And the reason I want to talk about this is because not only was I in the woods, maybe I needed to explain that a little bit. So if those of you watched last year, we talked about the Enneagram, and I am a Enneagram 1 with a very strong 9 wing. And 9s are peacemakers. They don't like to ruffle feathers. They like to be very comfortable. And I always say, like, it's my 9 that goes deep into the woods. It's my 9 that very much like decides, forget the rest of the world. I'm just going to drink coffee and read books and live my life. Like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit in the woods by myself and all's going to be well. That's what I mean by being in the woods. And it's a choice. It really is a choice. And it's part of that desire to not have conflict. And it's a personal thing. And so I choose sometimes to sit there in the woods because I don't want the conflict that rising brings. I don't want the conflict of stepping into something hard, of stepping into something challenging, of pushing myself, because there's always conflict in that. So is it easier to sit in the woods? 100%. But when we sit in the woods for too long, it means that there are things in front of us that we know we can do and we know we should do, but we choose not to do. This may be true for where you're at in your business. Listen, this may not even be about your business. This may be about some are using your business as a catalyst to chase. This may be about something in your family that you need to step into and resolve or put forward, whatever it is. But when we choose not to do the things that we know we're supposed to be doing, chase the dreams that we know we're supposed to be chasing, we're choosing to shrink. We're choosing to make ourselves small. And the reality is, and I say this because I know it's not only true for me, but I've coached too many leaders and too many women to know that when you choose to stay small, you will be miserable. You think that you're controlling the situation, and you are, because you're choosing to stay there. You're choosing to sit in the place that's comfortable. You're choosing to shrink. And yes, you have full control over that. And control feels good, doesn't it? Oh, I'm controlling the situation. I'm choosing not to do it. I'm choosing not to chase it. I just can't do it right now. But you're miserable on the inside. You're miserable. I really need you right now, in this moment, on this Saturday morning, in the middle of February, to negotiate your space. I want you to decide that it's time for you to rise up into the thing that you're supposed to be doing and really actually stand in it. We're not just going to talk anymore. We're going to do. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want you to write to me about it. I don't want you to tell me what you were going to do. I don't want you to tell somebody else what you're going to do. I want to see you do it. I want to see the product. I want to see you push through. I want to see the thing happen. That's how we create change. That's how we step into the things that we're called to do. I don't want you to forget who you are or what you're capable of. You are good. And you are capable of so much more than you know. Do not shrink. Do not make yourself small. You are a leader. And leaders shine bright. They shine their light into the world. They choose to rise in the midst of resistance, in the midst of conflict. They choose to stand up and do the thing deep inside their heart that they know that they're supposed to do. Maybe you feel like you can't. Maybe you're thinking, that's really great story, Allison. That sounds fantastic, but you can't do it all. And you don't have to do it all. Here's the thing. First of all, I'm crazy about you guys. Some of you have been showing up live for years, and you've not only shown up here, but you've supported our family in times of trial. When I had my mastectomy in 2016, there were more cards and gifts and words of encouragement than I could ever write thank you cards for. I think I really tried. I hope I did. But I am so grateful for each of you and how you've lifted us up from afar during different seasons of our lives. When we have foster babies, when just seasons and seasons of difficulty. We all have those seasons. But here's what I need to do now. I need to lift you up. And I'm not playing games. And like I said before, I'm not showing up to support your hobby. Hobbies are cute and hobbies are fun. Businesses are not hobbies. Hobbies are, you like to read, or you like to knit, or you like to hike, or you're obsessed with houseplants. Those are hobbies. Businesses are not hobbies. Businesses were born and always have been born to change lives. Are you going to rise up into it? Are you going to step up to the challenge? I'm here to help you rise, to help you stand, to help you negotiate your space. I'm here to help you change yourself so you can change the world. And do not for 1 second let the lies of the enemy tell you right now, she's not talking to me because I can't change the world. That's a crock of crap. I am talking to you. You do have the power to change the world, but you have to start with you first. Some of you are stalled out, have sat in a standstill for so long because you will not step into the conflict of your personal change. And I'm saying today, I'm tired of it. And enough is enough. We all have power inside of us. This is the place that we're going to let it shine. This is the place where we're going to be a bright light to shine for other people. Not just going to let you say things anymore. There is no space for that here. You don't have space for that in your life. What a waste of time. What a waste of time to say something for so long and not do it. This is the place for change, for growth, for dreams, for action. Okay? So we're not just talking anymore. We're doing. And here's the thing that I have learned. And listen, I'm sitting on this side of it because the past 18 months have been transformational for me. And I don't know that in the moment that I knew what was happening, it wasn't external change, it was more internal change. It was something God was doing inside of me. And on the other side of that change, I can see things more clearly. I can see where I should have stepped. I can see where I misstepped. And I don't regret any of it because I learned through every piece of it. And that's what I want you to understand right now about where you are. I am not sitting here to make you feel bad about where you're at or what you haven't done yet. That is not what this is. This is not a pity party. This is not us looking back saying, I should have, I could have, I would have, I wish I had. No. This is okay, there was that season. I did things the way that I did things. And today, I step into change. Today, I step into action. Today, I'm not just talking anymore, I'm doing. Because I'm going to choose to rise. Okay? The thing that I know for sure is that dream chasing, which is what you're all doing in this business, you're chasing some kind of dream. And I'm going to this is just a caveat, like maybe you don't know what it is. I truly believe that in your gut, in your heart, deep inside you somewhere, you started this because there is a dream there somewhere. Maybe you vocalized it. Maybe you haven't been honest with yourself about it. I know that some of you haven't been honest with yourself about it. I got a cough. I know that for a fact. There's all kinds of things happening right now. But there's a dream down there. And it's time for us to be honest about what we actually want. What do you actually want out of your business? What do you actually want out of your life? You're the one that gets to be the driver. You're the one that gets to make the decisions. You're the one that gets to stand up and choose to rise. Here's the thing about rising, though. And I've talked about this so many times, but I'm not going to stop talking about it. When you chase dreams, there will always be resistance. When you choose to rise, there will always, dadgummit. You want to talk about resistance? It's happening right now. Try not to cough in those ears. There will always be resistance that tries to push you down. Don't think for a second that because things don't go your way, that because doors close, that because things get hard, that means you're not supposed to go that way. There's kind of like that old saying, like, well, if the door opens and then I'll walk through it. Like, life is not like that. That's the easy road. Well, if it works out, it'll work out. No, that's not what this is about. Anything worth chasing, anything worth rising into, anything that's deep inside who you are will be hard. You're going to have to knock doors down. You're going to have to climb over walls. You're going to have to figure out how to get around the resistance that's trying to hold you back. That's never going to change. Do not sit and tell me that you can't or you won't or you feel like you're not supposed to because it's hard. It's never going to stop being hard. Ever. We're going to rise anyways. That's what this is. This year. I'm kind of interested. I sort of want to go back and watch last year because I would guess that there were very I would guess that there were many, many broadcasts where I was very melancholy. And I think that was this change happening in me and me attempting to resist to rise. Like I was trying to hold it back. Like I'll just sit here and be comfortable. I'll just sit in this space and not get better and not improve. Things are good. Stop lying to yourself. Stop telling yourself things are good when things are not good. When there are things deep inside you that you know you're supposed to do and you're not, things are not good. And you will keep being miserable until you start doing. Okay? Last year in that struggle, I don't want to call it a struggle season for me, but it was just a transitional year for me when I knew the thing that I was supposed to do was write this book. It was like this, the only way I know how to describe it, it was like, it was the thing that I could not do. Some of you are sitting on something that you can't not do, but you're doing everything to not do it. You're making every excuse. You're switching everything around to keep from actually doing it. I spent years saying I was going to write a book, saying. The saying and doing are different. We're not saying anymore. We're not talking anymore. We're going to do. So the question becomes, what do you want? What are you chasing? What are you dreaming about? I don't want you to sit in the excuses, in the pain, in the hardship, in the lies that you're telling to yourself anymore. I think the thing that drives me crazy the most is watching women with potential choose to stay comfortable. I know that there is something inside of you. I know that there is light and there is fire and there is passion. I know that there are dreams that scare the crap out of you. Those are the things we're supposed to be doing. Those are the things we're supposed to be chasing. And that's what I love about this business. It's what I've loved about this business for 12 years. It's why I still love this business. Because you can literally chase any single thing you want to, using this business as a catalyst of personal growth and personal change, and in a way that grows your finances, your family, your work-life balance, all of those things. But nothing is going to change if nothing changes. We got to watch the way we talk to ourselves. We got to be honest about what we actually want. Do you even know? Do you even know why you're doing this? I'm not interested in showing up anymore to coddle you around, to babysit and to show you step by step how to label something. I'm not going to do it. I'm not. But I will show up to push you, to encourage you to rise, to tell you sometimes you need to rest, to help you put boundaries in place. I will show up if you're going to commit to chase dreams with me. I'm not showing up to support your hobby anymore. I'm just not going to. Really, over the past month, I had to do some like deep searching to say, can I really show up every week? Do I want to? Because it's a lot of work to show up and intentionally have something worth your time and my time to say. Like, it's a lot of mental process. And I just had to decide, like, can I really do this? And there was like a hot minute when I got resentful, when I was like, I just can't anymore. Like I just can't. Listen, what lies are you telling to yourself? Because that was just a lie. Here's what I know. I don't have all the answers. I'm not the best at every single thing. You guys know there's lots of things I'm not great at. But I do know how to push you into working smarter. I do know how to help you think for yourself. I do know how to give you the words and the practical tools to look at your business and say, is this the best way? What's a more efficient way? How can I make this work better for my family? How can I work smarter, not necessarily harder, and get the same or better result? I know how to do that for you. And I will keep doing that for you. And the other thing I know, and that I won't ever stop being passionate about, is that there is so much inside you that you are not stepping into. So much inside you that you are not stepping into. There were a couple weeks last year that I would say literally changed my life.
Mom, I know really cold because
That's cold. Why don't you get a paper towel to wrap around it? Here, well, okay. There were a couple weeks last year that literally changed my life, where I just sat and watched women. I can't talk about it. Where I watched women with so much potential and so much fear and so many obstacles and so many just challenges, not only in their personal lives, but in their heads. I watched so many women sit and wrestle through who they were and what they were worth and what they could do. And the thing is, I know that they are every single one of you, that every single one of you have fire and purpose and dreams deep inside you that have to, they have to be. There's things inside you that you can't not do. Thanks, baby.
Is this hers?
That's hers, yeah.
Okay.
So I have to keep. Listen, I might not be the most like. And here's the other thing, and we got to talk about this. I think that, well, for one, last year I got off social media. A lot of you know that. I started reading a book called Digital Minimalism, and within the first couple chapters, I just stopped showing up on social media. I had already sort of intentionally set my business up to push myself out of it. I didn't really know that's what I was doing, but I was. And I will say, we are all, I don't even know what the word is. We are all subject to the comparison game. And I think it's one of the things that's hurting us the most. When I talk to women, when I hear what they're struggling with, it's this comparison. And we don't necessarily mean to do it. You don't mean to look at somebody else and say, geez, like, I wish I could do that. Like, we don't mean to, but we do. We are just wired to do it. And so I think there was a season when I just felt like I was irrelevant in terms of showing up and having anything to say to you, where I thought, like, I can't say what some of these people that are my friends are saying. Like, they have better practical things, or they're whatever. And I thought there was this kind of mind screw in my head of like, why would you show up when other people are showing up? Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Why would you show up? Why would you try to do it when somebody else is already doing it better? Those are lies. Those are lies. Meant to make you shrink, keep you quiet, meant to shut you up. Listen, we don't have space for that. I don't have space for you to sit and be still. Oh, you know that song? I don't even know. Oh, maybe Meghan Trainor sings it. Sit Still and Look Pretty, that song. Like, I'm not going to sit still and look pretty. You're not going to sit still and look pretty anymore. No, you can look pretty, but we're going to stand up and we're going to step into action and do the things that you know you have to do. You're going to stop making excuses. You're going to stop listening to the lies in your head, and you're going to do the thing you want to do with your business. This business is a catalyst to change in your entire life. Stop shrinking it. Stop making it smaller than it is. So here's where we're going to go over the next 12 weeks. And I've been in this business for 12 years. And I look back at every year and they've been so different. And I've learned so many different things throughout them. So I'm going to go back and we're going to take, over the next 12 weeks, I'm going to teach you the things that I learned that helped me the most out of each year of the past 12 years of my business. And I'm going to tell you out of the gates, the first year is going to be the most challenging for you because it is the most about doing. It is the most about dream chasing. I will say, when I started this business, I was 23 years old and I had a 9-month-old little girl. And I started it because I wanted to be home with her. I was not ashamed to say it. I was not lying about it. I was not shrinking. And I was kind of naive enough to just do the thing I wanted to do. You know, like I didn't know what I didn't know. And I just thought, so I don't know if I was naive or if I was just really smart. Like, I don't know which one, but there was a deep burning desire. And I wasn't taking no for an answer. It was yes or yes. Like, are we going to do this? Yes, yes, yes. No wasn't an option. And I had no clue what I was doing. So you're going to hear all about all of that next week. You're going to hear about everything I learned in that season of that first year, how challenging it was, and how I overcame some of those challenges. And also just some of the basic things that worked then that still work now, 12 years later. And how sometimes we forget those things, don't we? And then we're going to process through each year. And there were years that I'm going to tell you were hard, that I would say were heartbreaking. There were years where I doubted everything about who I was and what I was capable of. There were years I just wanted to quit. I just wanted to walk away because it was hard. I said it earlier, it's going to keep being hard. It's not going to stop being hard. Brian says I was naive, not smart. I think I was real smart, but I was very naive. It's going to keep being hard. So here's my commitment to you. Oh, that's what we're going to do over the next 12 weeks. That's where we're going. I promise you that every week there will be a practical takeaway for you. It's going to help move and change your business. It's going to help you grow personally. And here's the thing, and this is what matters to me. You matter to me. Who you are and who you're becoming is really the most important part of all of this. It's the most important part of this business, if you ask me. That's something I pray over my kids every single night. I thank God for who they are and who they're becoming. Because we're always becoming somebody. We're always growing and evolving and changing. And if we're not, when we stop growing and evolving and changing, we get miserable. We let the lies creep in and we don't move. And so who you're becoming matters to me really more than just about anything in this business. Because who you're becoming and how you're changing, that's what's going to change the world. That's what's going to make radical change in your life and the lives of the people around you, the lives of your team members, and your community in this world. Your change and your growth matters more than you know. It's why we're not going to shrink anymore. It's why we're not going to just say things. So I want to give you a brief, really quick. I'm going to have one more thing to say to you, and we're going to be done. I'm going to give you an action step that I want you to walk away with at the end, and so I want you to listen. So you'll notice that this schedule is wonky. We used to be live every Thursday night, and when I was processing through, can I keep doing this? Our calendar this year, it's shaped out differently. It's important for us to create space in our home where we can have people for dinner, where Brian and I go on a date night every week. Like, there's things and rhythms in our life that matter greatly to us. And our calendar for February had kind of already filled up, and I'm like, I can't do Thursday night. And so and we talk about this a lot, what happens when there's tension or when there's an area of conflict or something that's not working in your business? Well, you look at it and you figure out how to make it work. How can I do it better or different or smarter or more efficient or in a way that works better for me? And so why does it have to be on Thursday night? It doesn't have to be. Why does it have to be at night? It doesn't have to be. I mean, we're recording something that you can watch whenever you want to watch it, right? So I have a lot of mornings on the schedule in the middle of the week. And I know some of you work, and I know that's an inconvenience, but it's recorded. And so you may not be able to join us live. And I hate that, and I apologize for that. I also have to do what's best for my family and my business, and my time and my sanity. And so we're just going to work on a flex schedule this whole year. I'm going to put out 6 weeks at a time. When the dates are for our live broadcasts, put them in your calendar. As always, you're going to be able to come back and catch the recording. You're going to be able to get it on YouTube, on Facebook, either place. So it's still going to be there. The next 3 weeks, I'm going to be live at Thursday at 11 a.m. Central Time. I don't know why. It's just the way that it worked out. So 11 a.m. Central for the next 3 Thursdays. Then we're skipping a week over spring break when my kids are all going to be home. And because it's going to work. Then the 4th time, so March 26th, we are going to be on a Thursday night. That'll be fun. So we're going to be at 8 o'clock Central Time on Thursday night. And then Wednesday, April 1st, I'm going to be at 11 a.m. And then after that, I'm going to schedule out another 6 weeks at a time, and we're going to make it work. And again, I really hate that, like, we always did 8:30 because just trying to catch time zones and all of the things that seemed to work the best. But the more international this business gets, the less that really works. So we're going to do it when it works, and you can catch the recording. So the last thing I have to say to you today, and I need you to listen, and I need you to lean in. I need you to understand what this is going to be moving forward. It's going to be about dreaming bigger. It's going to be about working smarter. It's always been about those things. But it's also going to be about you growing. Because that's the thing we can't miss. That's the thing that we cannot take for granted. It's the thing we can't neglect. It's going to be about you growing, about you rising. I'm tired of you showing up in the same place week after week, still frustrated, showing up to listen. Look, don't show up. Don't show up to listen unless you're going to take action. I don't want to hear about it anymore. I don't want you to write it down. I don't want you to tell anybody. I want you to do something about it. Stop believing the lies that you can't. Stop believing the lies that you're not worthy. Stop believing the lies that you can't do one more thing. What if you can? What if you can? How would you know? You've been sitting in your same safe space for so long that you don't even know. You don't know. What if you fail? What if you fail? What if you mess up? Join the club. Join the club. I would rather you fail 5,000 times than sit in the woods. I would rather you fail over and over and over again than sit in inaction. I'm not tolerating it anymore. Do not show up unless you're willing to move. Do not show up unless you're willing to grow. I'm not supporting your hobby. If you want to talk about houseplants, we can, but that is not what this is. I'm not supporting your hobby. I'm here to help you chase your dreams. I'm here to help you stand up into the space that you're supposed to be in. I'm here to help you negotiate your space. Rise, get up, and be honest about what you want. Stop shrinking. stop lying to yourself. Stop ignoring the beating of your own heart. Here's your action this week. And I need you to be reflective about it. I do not need you to spout an answer right now. I don't need you to tell anybody. I need you to sit in this thought this week through prayer, through journaling, through reflection, whatever you're going to do. I need you to ask yourself, what do you want? What do you actually want? Take it as far as you want. It's going to be a hard question for some of you to answer because some of you have never even asked yourself the question. There's stirrings and there's things, and there's something there that you know is there that you can't put your finger on because you've never asked yourself the question. What do I want? What do I want out of this business? What do I want for my family? What do I want for my future? What do I want for our life? What do you actually want? We can't grow and we can't move and we can't rise. We don't know where we're going. And I know that when you finally say it, or when you're finally honest to yourself about what you want, there's probably going to be an immediate gut reaction of, oh, that's selfish. Or maybe I don't want that. Or that doesn't work for our family or our life. Or, no, those are just obstacles. Those are just things that we work around. Those are just tension points. If there's a dream deep inside you, be honest about it. Step into it. What do you want? What do you actually want? That's all I want you to do this week. I want you to figure out what you want. Figure it out. Write it down. Journal. Meditate over it. Pray over it. I don't care what you do. Figure out what the heck you actually want. We're not going to wander. We're not going to walk around aimlessly. We're not going to get lost in the woods anymore. We are going to choose to stand up, to negotiate our space, to rise. We're going to stop looking to the left and the right. We're going to stop watching the dang news feed at what everybody else is doing, and you're going to do something. You're going to chase something. You're going to move. If you're not going to move, don't bother showing up. Don't bother. Don't waste my time. Don't waste your time. But if you are willing to step into this, to say, yeah, I want to chase something. I want to rise. I want to stand up. I want to negotiate my space. I want to stop shrinking. And I'm here for you. That's what we're doing. I want to know right now. I want you to comment. You can put an emoji. You can put whatever you want. If you're in, I want to know that you're in. If you're down, this is where we're going. No more. I'm not holding your hand. We're not playing games. We'll rest, and we'll rest well. But we are going to stand up into what we're called to do and who we're called to be. We are not going to forget who we are. We're going to continue to grow and change. I want to know that you're in. Your homework this week is figure out what the heck you want. Do not shrink it. Do not make it smaller than it is. I want what you want I want it big. I want to know what you want. I want it to be big. I want you to know. I don't need to know what you want. I want you to know what you want. I want you to know what you want. And there will be no shrinking it. There is no, ooh, that's too big. Ooh, that's too dreamy. Ooh, you're going to try to do that. Your flesh is going to try to tell you can't. It's going to try to tell you, you can never do that. You're not going to be able to pay off that debt and buy that house. You're not going to be able to open that nonprofit. You're not going to be able to create that thing. You're not going to be able to, nope. This is not the place for no's and can'ts and excuses. This is the place for big dreams, big action, big movement. That's what we're doing. I just want you to be clear. I don't want you to show up thinking this is something that it's not. We're stepping into who we were called to be, what we were called to do. We're using this business as a catalyst for personal growth and change if we're chasing our craziest, wildest dreams. I believe that when you chase those dreams, you change yourself and you get the chance to change the world. That's what we're doing. Big order. Me, you, us, that's where we're going. So if you're in, you're in. And I'll see you next week. I love you. This is the week for doing. Figure out what you want. And once you figure out what you want, show up next week, live or on the recording. And we're going to get down to business. Love y'all. I missed you. And I cannot wait for what's ahead. I can't wait to walk you through some of the biggest messes and successes, and all the things I've learned over the past 12 years. We're going to do the thing. Okay. Love y'all. Can't wait to see you next week. We're live at 11 o'clock Central on a Thursday, February 27th, 11 a.m. Crazy random time, but that's what we're doing. Can't wait to see you then. Talk to you later.